What up guys, Master Ninja here coming at you live and loud. Today we are looking at the 2020 Hasbro Megazord. Oh boy, where do I begin with this guy? Theme song. So, we're back. The Hasbro Megazord itself, it needs a lot of work. It's really hard to... I'm going to break this guy down and talk about it, starting with the Megazord, and working my way down to its pieces. So let's go ahead and already cut it to the screen. Alrighty, the 2020 Megazord. And honestly, this guy is a beautiful piece of machine. Honestly, standalone, he looks beautiful on a shelf. Very little paint articulation, but for what it is a not too bad of a Megazord. That's what it is, the Megazord. The lack of paint shows less of chipping, but the hollowness all around isn't what I would say is grandeur. But articulation-wise, highly articulated in the arms. Very posable. Very free posable in the arms. I mean, honestly, it's a Megazord with elbow joints. That alone is awesome. That is something that's worth, but the paint and the lack of is still a little bit of a bumble. You can tell that it was supposed to be a legacy piece, a lightning piece, but Hasbro just got it out fast. And you can kind of tell that this was a rushed job. So, for size comparison, let's go ahead and bring in the... And if you guys remember my review on the 2020 Megazord, the 2010 Megazord earlier this year, he comes up quite a little short. For example, here him is compared to with a 6-inch, the 6-inch Lightning Collection figure. So get you a good size comparison going. So all around, he's not too short, but he's pretty decently tiny. For another example, let's go ahead and bring in the shortest Megazord I have in my collection. Well, you really can get a good idea how short this guy is. Gosei Grand Megazord. You can tell he at least lines up pretty decently with the Gosei figure. And Gosei in himself is a tiny figure. So, with that said, let's go ahead and break it down to his key opponents. Alright. The Tyrannosaurus. Honestly, he suffers really badly. His tail has a hollow tail. The head sculpt on this guy is pathetic, but positive. Let's see if we can open his mouth up. Go ahead. Zoom in. Try to focus. Focus, focus. They actually sculpt the cannons in the mouth. That's a nice touch. But you open up, you can clearly see the Megazord's head poking out. Like, hello. And while I'm at it, the Megazord's horns are so loose back here, it's almost criminal. He does come with the waist joint, so it can go 360 degrees in the waist. But all around, it's not that good of a. It's just not that good. Paint job, really lacking. Really lacking. Now let's go ahead and compare it to the 2010 Megazord Tyrannosaurus. I can pull out the Legacy Megazord because it is technically the same mold, but it was nice to have to be in the beginning shot. But yeah, you can clearly tell the head is missing a lot of paint. It's just really sad looking, honestly. It's a poor man Megazord. Comparing to the 2010, it's really sad looking. So let's go ahead and move on to the next two. Alright, so saber-toothed tiger and triceratops. Yet again, missing a lot of paint. Saber-toothed tiger's fangs are way too long. And the triceratops horns are so soft and pliable, I feel like these things are going to just chip away. I mean, honestly, see that? Yeah, just zoom in. Alright. You guys see that? The horns are so movable. I can almost guarantee you that would break. But the lack of paint is very sad looking. And all around, it's just really not that good of... It's just still really not that well done. I mean, it is a really sad looking Zord. Compared to its 2010 predecessor. And honestly, just compare the two right now. Better paint, better stickers, all around. A much stronger feeling Zord. The wheels, I'll granted, all the wheels on these things are molded, unlike the original 93 that I do not have. Note to self, someday. But yeah, this is really not that good of a Zord still. So let's go ahead and go down to our last set. Alright, Pterodactyl and Mastodon. Last set. Honestly, something that I find is ridiculous. So right here you can clearly see the screw holes on the Mastodon side. The head has a joint in it that allows the head to bob up and down. Exact same type of plastic from the horns. So all around, the lack of paint really makes the figure suffer. I hate sound like I'm repeating myself, but honestly, that's the problem with this set. Like, there was no love or care into it. The pterodactyl, actually probably one of the ones that haven't had the worst part of it. The wings are a little bit longer. Honestly, you can actually fold the wings all the way forward. More pink on the head with this gray coloring to it. And the cannons are a lot more longer. So yeah, that in itself isn't too bad. So let's go ahead and compare it to the 2010. I mean, just comparing it to the 2010 model, you can always see a big difference in the set. So yeah, the lack of paint really hurts the set really bad. Like, I would love this set if it had better paint. The articulation on the Megazord, fantastic, beautiful. But just the fact that the paint job on this was cheap. I mean, I'm not asking for like Lightning Collection level of paint, but honestly, this was a standard $30 Megazord back in 2010. This guy came in 3 separate pieces for $14 each. So I'm just like, why? Why? So let's go ahead, flip this guy into tank mode. Alright, so tank mode, Dino Megazord. For what it is the tank mode. And honestly, it is a poor man's excuse for tank mode. It gives you the basic concept, but honestly, just the fact that it's just such a bad Megazord. Don't get me wrong, I like this. I love the original Megazord. But just to know that this guy, Hasbro, I know you guys do great work. You guys do wonderful designs and beautiful pieces on robots. I mean, you guys' take on the Beast Morpher X Megazord. Hashtag check out that video in the description. This guy is pathetic. Especially if you're paying like $50 for the whole set to even make this guy. He's very disappointing. I'll have my final thoughts after this last comparison. Let's go ahead and bring in the tank. So yeah, you can definitely tell the difference. And here's the sad part. This was released almost well over 10 years ago. This guy was just released. While I'm at it, let's talk about the power swords. I forgot to mention when they were in Megazord mode. Hasbro's. Actually, not too bad. Very basic concept of the power sword. Some lightning work on one side, clean on the other. Very cheap. Keep in mind, I custom mine a while ago. I actually added a little paint, a little black to highlight the lightnings. 2010. I mean, honestly, what? And what? You know what? Time to go back to the Ninja. Excuse me. Alright guys, welcome back. Thanks for making it to the end of the video and my final thoughts. Oh boy. This one's a tough one, guys. Honestly, I kind of spread out my distaste for this Zord. It's wonky, it's zany, it's posable. I mean, I love the posability in the arms. I love the fact that you can do more things than just up, down. Like this guy, you can get some really dramatic poses out of it. And I like that. That you can adjust the arms and get him really posed. But what hurts him is the lack of paint, the lack of care. You can just feel that Hasbro didn't. It feels like this should have been a prototype, honestly. Or it feels like it's a cartoon Zord. You know, I'm going to dub this the cartoon Megazord. Because that's what it feels like. It feels like it's a cheap cartoon version of this. And I know for a fact Hasbro has done better megazord. And do a better megazord. This beautiful piece of megazord. Granted, it's huge, it's glorious. It feels like a megazord. It feels solid. This guy feels like he just came out of McDonald's Happy Meal. Clicked off 5 pieces, make a megazord. What really bugs me is the audacity that Hasbro has to release this guy for almost $50, and when Bandai released this guy 10 years ago for $30. No offense, but I can see that this guy's going to be breaking down. The soft plastic's going to be molded, warped, and fallen to pieces. I can see this guy not lasting 10 years. Like this gentleman here. 10 years strong and he's still kicking. Hashtag review for this guy and this guy in the descriptions below. Shameless self-promotion. Who said that? So, with that said, is he worth picking up? Honestly, I say he's worth picking up for for your kid. For a serious adult collector who wants a nice megazord, no. But for a kid, if you want to toss out $50 to get a megazord, yeah, more power to him. Because this here is not a $50 megazord. That's the sad part. This has been the Masked Ninja. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.